A young Kenyan author called Babio Newton has just released, or rather has published a book called The Raila Conspiracy. Okay? The book is set to be released later this month, but there's been a lot of reports, there's been a lot of features, news talking about it all over the place. Now, in this particular recording, I'm not going to review the book because I've not read it. I've not even seen it. However, I'm going to ask a simple question. Is there really a Raila conspiracy? Or is all this just propaganda ahead of the elections? Is this just yet another campaign tool, which, by the way, there's no crime in launching campaign tools which are legal? Yeah? Is this yet another campaign tool for NASA and Raila Odinga? Or is there some truth in the Raila conspiracy? Okay, let's get on to it right away without fear or favor. Let's examine let's examine and see if really there's a conspiracy against the former Prime Minister. Let's start with a certain statement I heard from the Jubilee side, which was a rather strange statement. Actually, I've heard it repeatedly. The statement is that a Luo can never be president of Kenya. It is usually followed by a statement saying Raila can never be president of Kenya. Okay? Now, in early 2006, actually to be exact, February 7th, 2006, I wrote a blog post. The title of that blog post was Raila Odinga, the best president Kenya will never have. Over the years, that post has consistently been very, very popular. Why? I suspect a lot of those who come to read this post come to confirm the propaganda going around that Luo cannot be president, that Raila Odinga cannot be president. My post notwithstanding. Of course, my post was written at a very different time. My post, if you read it, is not what the headline says really. Yeah, I brought forward theories. I believed at that time that he was running out of time, which is true because he's getting older, and so on and so forth. But let's not go into that. We're not talking about Kumekucha or me. We're talking about Raila Odinga and the conspiracy theory. Okay, that's a story. The other one is a story for another day. To answer this question, let us start with those people who look after the security of the state. Let us start with those people who should be experts on this question. Yeah? The intelligence community, the last time I checked, and over the years, have consistently labeled Raila Odinga presidency as a threat to the security of the state. And that is a fact. Okay? Now, why have they done this? Hold on to that question. We'll revisit it later. Now, naturally, if you consider somebody or somebody's presidency a threat to the security of the state, you will do everything in your power, and the intelligence community has formidable powers. You will do everything in your power to ensure that this person is never president. Okay? Now, we witnessed, everybody saw in 2007 what happened. In fact, that's what triggered off the whole mess we had here in Kenya, the deaths of so many innocent Kenyans. You saw how Raila Odinga won the 2007 presidency, not by a slim margin, by a landslide. Now, if you don't believe the other evidence you've seen elsewhere, you'll have to believe me because I was covering those particular elections very closely. If you go over to the Kumekucha blog, you'll see a lot of information that you have never seen anywhere else before on that election. So I covered it very closely. And I can tell you, Raila Odinga won those elections by a landslide, a huge margin. But he was never allowed to be president. Okay? What happened was that the elections, the results were fiddled with in maybe the most messy fiddling of presidential elections our country has ever seen, and he was denied the presidency. That is a fact. So in a way, that can be a confirmation to us that at least as of 2013, the view of the intelligence community was that a Raila Odinga presidency is a threat to the security of the state. We also know that a certain community in the country fears a Raila Odinga presidency. Yeah, and of course this house of Mumbi. Okay? As I've told you before, those are my in-laws. And I have known them for many years. I've lived amongst them for many years in various parts of the country. And there's no doubt they fear a Raila Odinga presidency. Now, in the next episode of this particular series, we'll try and go deeper and examine exactly why they fear Raila Odinga presidency. And then I'll be able to tell you whether really there's a conspiracy or not. And if indeed there's a conspiracy, how far it goes, how deep it goes, and how it will affect, especially how it will affect our forthcoming 2017 elections. Yeah? So as usual, you know the drill. Just click on that link on the top left-hand corner of your screen and go to part 2 for some really, really amazing dossier. This is Chris Kumakucha. See you on the other side.